everyone. I'm Andrea Stevens. If you don't know me, I have been a coach for 5 years. This is my coach anniversary of 5 years. I signed up in August when our son was 3 years old. And I signed up not, I signed up to help a friend out. That's why I signed up originally. My girlfriend Lindsay told me that the shake that I was drinking, she didn't say it wasn't good. She just said, here's what I'm drinking and maybe you should look at it too. And so I did, and I couldn't deny that what I was drinking wasn't the same as what she was drinking. So I ordered it. I didn't like the way it tasted. Mine tasted better because it was sweeter and full of sugar, and that's what I was used to. But I gave it a month, and then I couldn't live without it. So I started my coach journey, and I didn't know what to do or where to go. I didn't really understand what coaching was all about. I didn't plug in to a lot of things until it was about a year after, it was a year after I started, when I signed as a coach. When I signed as a coach, my husband was a police officer. And I'm a hygienist by trade. I went to school to be a hygienist, and that's what I do. I clean teeth part-time, 3 to 4 days a week, so I could be home with our kids. That was my plan. That was my plan from high school. You know, I wanted to be a hygienist so I could make my own schedule and supposedly live by my rules, and work when I wanted to work. And it's true, I get to work part-time and be home with my family and get to have long weekends and things. But a hygienist doesn't get to really call in sick like you would think. There's no one to take my spot. So sometimes that's really hard when you have a sick child at home. But instead of having a sick child, on September 24th of 2013, I got the call I never wanted to get. Greg had been to Iraq 3 times, and I always told myself, like, he's fine. Nothing's going to happen to him. We'll be fine. Like, he's fine. He knows exactly what he's doing. And he does, and he did. And then he became an officer the year our son was born, and so Matthew was 4 at the time, after I'd been a coach for a year. And I got a call on September 24th. We were selling our house. I had just gone to bed. I had literally gotten into that part where you close your eyes in bed and you're just kind of in that sleep dreamland, but not really asleep. And my phone rang, and it was his sergeant on the other side, and he said, "Hi, Mrs. Stevens, this is Sergeant Strail." And I said, "Oh, yes, sir." Like, I knew that I was talking to someone important, but it didn't register why he was calling me. Why were you calling me? And he said, "We met at the mall. Do you remember?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." And he was like, "Okay, well, I'm calling to tell you that Greg's been shot." And at that moment, my eyes clicked open, and I shot out of bed, and I stood at the side of my bed, and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do anything. I was frozen in fear that he was gone, that, you know, I didn't know anything. I had no control. And I'm kind of a control freak. I didn't really realize it, but I am. And so I went and I hung up the phone, and he said, "Someone's coming to get you." And I said, "Okay." He's fine, but he said, "Somebody's coming to get you." I said, "Okay." So I ran around the house and paced and everything, and I got there, and sure enough, he was. But it was extremely traumatic for us. My safety, he was going to be just fine, that we were going to be just fine, that security was taken from me. And suddenly, maybe we wouldn't be. Maybe I needed to have a different plan. What if I have to be the sole provider for our family? And I became honestly really depressed, and I drank a lot, and I was miserable. I was so broken, and it's still like I can't think of that day and not feel that. And then one day, about a month after he was shot, I laid there hungover in bed, and I thought, I'm done. This is it. Like, I cannot do this anymore. This is not what I want my son to see. I don't want his dad and his mom to be broken. So I got up and I pushed play, and I ran, and I still run. If I am really struggling, I run and I fight. So I fought through turbo fire. I kicked and punched my way through a court of force when my grandpa died, and I won't stop fighting for them. I lost 4 people last year. And knowing that I had this team, that this family cheering me on, is why I kept going. That if I could show somebody that when it was that hard, when you didn't want to get out of bed, when you thought that your person was gone, that you would never see them again, but I still got out of bed because I knew that they could see me, and I wanted to make them proud. And I want to make Matthew and Cora proud, and Greg proud of me, and myself. I don't want to be that girl laying in the bed feeling terrible and sad for myself. So now I get up and I fight. And I'm going to stay with this fight forever, because I refuse to let any struggle take me down and ruin any potential I possibly have of living my best life. Because I'm strong enough to find my fight, and I'm going to find that fight in me and help other people to find their fight. So my hope is that my story helps and inspires you to keep fighting, no matter how hard that struggle is, no matter the pain that you feel, because it's just temporary. And now I know that I have a plan B. I have a plan B. Just because the worst day happened to you, that doesn't have to be your only plan. So consider having another plan, and get your plan B, and find your fight, and maybe take a chance. Thank you for listening to me, and have a great day.